Hello everyone, especially to you, Teacher Glay. My name is Marilyn Mercado and my partner in this presentation named Marel Baladhay. So we are the group 5 and our topic for today is all about the concept of intonation and the study of falling tone. But before we start our proper discussion, let's talk about what is the intonation. So when we say intonation, it is the rising and falling of the voice in speech, and it adds attitudes or emotions to words. And someone said that wrong intonation caused misunderstanding. And we have also definition. It is the way the voice rises and falls when speaking. That was the definition of intonation. In other words, intonation is the music of the language. This definition of intonation is very understandable and we don't have to further explain it because we all know that intonation is very important in every aspect of how we say something. As what the definition said, that intonation is the music of the language. So now, let's proceed to the two patterns of intonation in English. We have rising intonation and falling intonation. So first, when we say rising intonation, it talks about the pitch of voice rises at the end of the sentence. And rising intonation invites the speaker to continue talking, and it's normally used with yes or no questions and question tags that are real questions, and it is also used when we express doubt and need confirmation. So we have here the examples of rising intonation with the use of yes or no questions. So first example, do you like your new teacher? So, answerable by yes or no. Have you finished already? May I borrow your dictionary? Do you have any magazines? Do you sell stamps? So, that was the examples of rising intonation answerable by yes or no questions. We have also the example of real question in rising intonation. First example is, we met already, haven't we? So, you like fish, don't you? You're a new student, aren't you? The view is beautiful, isn't it? So, that was the example of question tags in a rising intonation. We already know the definition of rising intonation and the example of it. So now let's proceed to the falling intonation. So when we say falling intonation, it is the pitch of voice falls at the end of the sentences. Falling intonation is the most common intonation pattern in English. It is commonly found in the statement, commands, WH questions, confirmatory question tags, and exclamations. We have here the examples of falling intonation with the use of a statement form in sentence. So, first example, I'll be back in a minute. She doesn't like here anymore. Dad wants to change his car. Here is the weather forecast. Cloudy weather is expected at the end of the week. We should work together more often. I'm going for a walk in the park. So, as you observe, the pitch of the voice falls at the end of the sentence. So, that was the statement form falling intonation. So now, I'll give the floor to Miss Marel Baladhay to give you more example of falling intonation.
Good day everyone. Concept of intonations offer advice. They tell people what to do. Examples of commands. Here is the examples of command. Number 1, write your name here. And then there is a lot of examples about commands. I'm going to read it. Like, threw that out. You are commanding people or someone to throw the things out. And then, put your books on the table. So you're going to ask again, either students or pupils to put that books on the table. So here's another one. Take your hands out of your pocket. So that is the examples of command. And now we'll proceed to WH questions or requesting information. Questions beginning with who, where, whose, what, why, when, which, and how. Number one examples of WH questions are starting with what. What country do you came from? You're asking someone if where they are came from, what country they belong. Then number two, who is that? So, if there is a person who are not familiar to you, so you're going to ask to your partner or your friends, who is that person? So, end with question mark. There is a lot of examples of WH questions or question beginning with who, what, where, there, and so on. So, there is examples. Which of them do you prefer? So, end with question mark because we are asking. When does the shop open? So, and again with question mark because you're going to know what is the exact time when the shop is open. Another one. How many books have you brought? So, you're asking again if how many books that your friends brought from the store. You wanted to know. So, another, which coat is yours? And then last is, whose bag is this? So, those examples is belong to WH questions or requesting informations or questions beginning with who, was, what, why, where, when, which, and how. Whose brother? So we are now finished the WH questions. We are now proceed to questions tags. Questions tags is that are statements requesting confirmation rather than questions. So we have here an examples. Number one, he thinks he's so clever, doesn't he? Now, lastly is the exclamations. Exclamations is express great emotions such as excitement, surprising, or happiness, anger, ends with exclamation points. So we have here an examples of exclamation. Here are the examples of exclamation. Number one, how nice of you. End with exclamation point. That's just what I need. You're directing to the point that things is what you need. Number three, what a beautiful voice. So end with exclamation point. So these examples is you are going to appreciating the voice of someone. Number last examples, that's a surprise. So you're surprising the output of something. So end with exclamation point. We are done about the exclamation, questions tags, and commands. So we proceed to what is the difference between tone and intonation. Tone is the attitudes or how somebody sounds, whereas intonations is the rise and fall of voice, sounds, or tone. We have tone is about the feelings conveyed by the way someone speaks. It can be joyful, serious, or sad. So that is the difference of tone and intonation. So I hope guys you understand what I say, and thank you for the time, and thank you for listening. God bless and Merry Christmas.